Well, let us now discuss location of octahedral holes. We see in the above figure that the center of each edge is vacant space. Consider a guest atom or ion represented by a green cross. Then it will be in contact with dot particles numbered as 1, 2, 3 and 5 in its own unit cell. The particle number 4 will be in front of 3 and 6 will be just above 5 in the space lattice. Thus the guest atom or ion marked by cross will be in immediate contact with 6 particles. Hence coordination number of green X will become 6. This will be true for all X locations. Thus we can say that center of each edge in a FCC unit cell is an octahedral void. Now, since there are 12 edges, hence there must be 12 such holes. But as each edge is shared amongst the 4 cubes or unit cells, hence the number of O holes from the edge centers will be only 3 per unit cell. Besides these, there is one more vacant space at the center of the cube that I have marked by a violet cross. This is also an octahedral hole because any gas particle placed here will automatically be in contact with 6 dot particles numbered as 1 dash, 2 dash, 3, 3 dash, 5 and 5 dash in the unit cell itself. Therefore, this O hole marked by purple or violet X exclusively belongs to the given unit cell. Thus the total number of O holes will be equal to 3 plus 1, that's equal to 4. As regards T holes, now consider a mini cube shown in the body of the unit cell by red dots, boundaries. This mini cube has only 4 dot particles on its alternate corners. These 4 dot particles thus form a tetrahedron, the center of which is vacant. There are such 8 mini cubes in a FCC unit cell, and hence there must be 8 tetrahedral voids in a FCC unit cell. So, now with the help of this knowledge of O and T holes, we can easily understand the structure of some of the very common ionic crystals.